Welcome to this LucidPress Getting Started screencast. I'm going to show you how to get started with creating a LucidPress document. So it's best to start this from Google Drive. So in your Google Drive, we have pushed out, if you click on the New or the Create button, we have pushed out LucidPress to all students and staff. So if you go under New, go under More, and if you need to, you can scroll down. You should find LucidPress. It's represented by this little green icon. So if I click on LucidPress, it's going to take me to the LucidPress site. If this is your first time visiting LucidPress, you might be asked to accept or link your account. LucidPress is a service that we use with students and staff, so you can choose whatever you need to choose to continue on, accept the linking, so that what will happen is this file will eventually save into your Google Drive. So here I am at LucidPress, and LucidPress has some different print templates. LucidPress is kind of like a desktop publishing program, very similar to PageMaker or some other desktop publishing type tools, where if you wanted to make something that was like a brochure or a magazine or a flyer, there's all different categories over here. So the best way to start is when you come here, pick a category. So let's say I'm going to I'll choose flyer. And then there are some default templates here that you can pick from. Any of the ones that say premium, those unfortunately you won't be able to use, but there's enough here that you should be able to pick from. So let's pick this flyer here. So I'm going to select this one. Oops. There we go. And what it'll do is it'll open that template as yours. And then you can delete what you don't want. You can add what you want, and you can kind of design however you want to design your flyer or whatever it is that you chose. First thing that's super important to do is first change the name of the file. So I'm going to click on the file name up here at the top, and I'm going to change this, and I'm going to make sure I put my name, some part of my name in it, probably my last name. So we'll put Kafka Flyer. We'll say this is for social studies, and I'm going to click OK. That way, when I send this or share this later, whoever I share it to, if it's another student, if it's a teacher, they'll know what this is. So here is the layout, the default template. You'll notice there's some just text that's filled in just to kind of be placeholder. Anything that's on here is clickable and movable. So this text box, if I didn't want that exactly where it was, I can click and hold and drag to move this around. I can double click in here to actually edit the text. So if I was going to write a story or a paragraph as part of my flyer, I could start typing in the text box here. All of my settings for whatever I'm doing are over here on the right. So if I needed to adjust any of this text, maybe I want to highlight that text and center it up. Maybe I want to make it bigger. There's font size up here. There's little arrows that help you click to advance or advance up, or you can actually click in here and type the number if you know the font size number that you want. Let's say I wanted 36 and I hit enter. There are font choices in here as well. There's colors. So if I wanted to change the font colors, if I need to get into columns and setting up columns within that box. If I needed to add more text, all my tools that I can add from are over here on the left side. So let's say I needed to add text. If I click on text, it automatically puts a text box in place. And I can usually, if I ever have troubles clicking on something, I'll usually click in the gray area outside and then click back on the item and move it. Whenever you see this forehead arrow over something, that means that if you click on that item, then you can move it. So if I wanted to move the headline a little bit, that little forehead arrow means that if I click on that object, I'll be allowed to move it. If I want to add images, that's the little mountain picture over here on the left side. If I click on that, this takes me into all images and I've used this before, so I have some images that are already in here. There's also some places you can pull images from down here. One of the nice ones that's added in LucidPress is this icon finder. If I click on icon finder, this is a website that LucidPress has set themselves up with. So let's say I was trying to find an icon. Let's say I was making a flyer. Let's do puppies. Let's see what that brings up, if that brings anything up. Or dog. We'll do dog instead. So these are some icons that can be used in my publication. So let's say I wanted to use a picture of a dog. This one's kind of cool. So I'll click on that. So there is the picture. And now that picture is allowed to be clicked and moved in. If I want to resize a picture, I usually grab a corner. I always grab a corner to resize. If you grab a side and try to stretch, sometimes it depends on the picture. Sometimes it will stretch, but sometimes it starts to get cut off, kind of like you see the bottom of the dog there getting cut off. If I wanted to take out any of these areas in the back, like maybe I don't want this blue box, I can click on that and delete that. If I wanted to add anything like that, I can do that using the shapes. So here's the shapes. Maybe I want to make a bubble that is of a certain color. So I've added my bubble, and over here is the fill and the border. If I click on the fill's currently white. Maybe I want to make that green. And if it is a shape, you can double click in a shape and add text as well. So that might be a good way to kind of draw attention to something that you're putting into your flyer. This little round circle on the top of any object, if you click and drag, that lets you rotate. So you can really lay out your design however you want. These pictures here, you can see they have a border around them. So if I click on one of those pictures, that was because the border size was changed to 5. You can go down or up to give it a bigger thickness to a border, and then change the border color if you want. So just all different things you can do to kind of lay out how you want your design to look. And that is how you get started with using LucidPress. What's nice is this file now, if I look back in my drive, this file saves to my drive. Because you start from drive, it saves back to your drive. So that file will stay there. You can come back if you need to close. This saves as you go. Up here it says all changes saved. So it saves as you go back to your drive. So you could stop your project midway, come back and work on it later. So I just wanted to show how to do that. I'm going to show in another quick little video that I'll link up here. I'm going to show how to properly publish this or share this to others. And I'll show that in a separate video. I would not recommend, don't use the share up here. The share up here we've had some issues with. I'll show you a better way to do that in the next video. Thanks for watching.